안녕하세요, 수강생 여러분. Good morning, everyone. My name is Sujin Song. I'd like to study the principles of marketing. This is chapter 2. If you look at the syllabus, we have studied the introduction to marketing using the syllabus in the first week. And second week, I have taught you chapter 1, which explain the core concepts of marketing, including definition of marketing, goals and aims of marketing. What are the components of marketing? Lastly, we explore the marketing process by which companies create value for the consumer to capture value in return. Today, in this chapter 2, we'd like to look at designing customer-driven marketing strategy and constructing marketing programs. To do that, first, we'll look at the organization's overall strategic planning that guides marketing strategy and planning. Next, we'll discuss marketing partners internally and outside externally. How marketing partners work closely with others inside and outside the firm to create built value for the customers. We then examine marketing strategy and planning, how marketers choose target market, position their market offerings, develop marketing mix. So, once you have listened to this lecture, you will be able to understand the following learning objectives. Before that, think about core concepts of marketing and goals of marketing. If you cannot remember that, pause this lecture, go back to chapter 1, and find out what you have studied. Okay, so are you ready? In this chapter, we'll study company-wide strategic planning and how to design business portfolio and explains marketing's role in strategic planning and the describing the elements of customer value-driven marketing strategy and mix. So first things first, what is then strategic planning? Have you ever set up any objective to achieve and planned out to accomplish that goals? Yes, it is very hard task. Selecting an overall company strategy for long-run survival and growth is called strategic planning. So it's a process of developing and maintaining a strategic fit between organization's goals and capabilities and its changing marketing opportunities. So you have your own goal as a mission statement and the capability, whether you can achieve or not. What kind of resources can you utilize or rely on? And you have to respond to the changing marketing opportunities. That's called as strategic planning. At the corporate level, the company starts the strategic planning process by defining its overall purpose and mission. So when you look at this figure 2.1, you have see that defining the company mission at the first step. It then creates detailed supporting objectives that guide the entire company. Next, headquarters will decide what portfolio's business and products is best for the company and how much support to give each one. In turn, each business and product develops detailed marketing and other departmental plans that support the company-wide plan. So the marketing planning occurs at the business unit, product, and market levels. Look at this chart. The broader company strategy must be customer focused and then setting company objective that supporting this mission. And then you design the portfolio. What do you have? Where to support more money and more HR resources. And you planned out marketing functional strategy to work with. Let us now go deeply to understand each component of strategy planning process. The first one is mission statement. What is the mission statement? Many organizations develop formal mission statement which explains organization's purpose, what it wants to accomplish in the large environment. When you have a clear mission statement, It could be act as an invisible hand that guides people in your organization. Okay, my organization leave this, leave this for, so we'll make a decision on this based on that criteria. And market-oriented mission statement defines the business in terms of satisfying basic customer needs. And management should avoid making its mission too narrow or too broad. And also, mission statements should be realistic, specific, consistent with the market environment, based on your company's distinctive competency. What will be the last component? It must be motivating as well, so that you can engage, inspire your company's workforces to work for it. The company's mission statement needs to be turned into detailed supporting objectives for each level of management. So mission leads to a hierarchy of objectives. Business objectives, it can be the build profitable customer relationships, investment research, and improving profit. The marketing objectives can be that increasing market share, or create local partnership, or increasing promotion, depending on the situation that your company resides. Second learning objectives will now turn into the designing business portfolios and develop growth strategies. To analyze strategy, to set up the strategy of your organization, you have to analyze your business portfolio. What is then the business portfolio? It's a collection of businesses and products that make up the company. So when you apply for the school, university, you are submitting a portfolio. If you are art major, you show up, you supplies, you suggest submit the artifact you've drawn. That's portfolio. Similarly, there are accumulations of businesses and products that make up the company. That's called as business portfolio. And then you are analyzing the portfolio to evaluate the products and businesses. Which one is your best top performing product? Which one needs to be discarded, discontinued to produce? So that's portfolio analysis. When you designing the business portfolio, the unit becomes company division or product line within a division or a single product or brand. So from the top to bottom, it's more narrower. We call this as strategic business unit, in short, SBU. So you analyze your companies by division or product line within a division or by single product or brand. That is called strategic business unit. Let's now take an example of what is strategic business unit. So let me explain the examples of SBU. I look at the PNZ Korea, so those you can Google it. You may come into the PNZ CO.KR together. And if you go to this site, you can find out the brand. And if you can see this site, it says baby care, fabric care, home care, hair care, skin and personal care, oral care, and grooming. These are the strategic business units of P&G. So care category, you can categorize the products that you sell by total category. That's SBU. But also, if you go to the skin and personal care, you can see that Gillette, SK2, and this Gillette, SK2, respectively working as SCBU, Strategic Business Unit. So under the skin personal care, you have a one brand Gillette, another brand SK2. So these are the different SBU, you can say. If you want to narrow down your SBUs more further, you go to SK2. Then you can find out SK2 Essence, SK2 Mask, SK2 Cleanser, SK2 Clear Lotion, etc. And this product lineup becomes SBUs. So do you understand? So if you analyze, when you analyze your company's asset, you can analyze by beauty care, oral care, like this, hair care, Head and Shoulder and Pantene, fabric care, Fabris, Downy, Sweeper, home care. So you understand which category is rising, which category is declining. And under the hair care, you can also analyze it, which brand is winning, which brand is declining, or which brand requires more support, which brand requires less support, etc. And when you analyze by the product lineup, you can also think about by the product lineup. Okay, treatment, shampoos, color care, treatment, essence, etc. Activity in strategic planning is business portfolio analysis, where management evaluates the products and businesses making up the company. That's what I've explained before. So first step in business portfolio analysis is to identify the key businesses that make up the company, the strategic business unit. The ASBUs can be a company division, product line within a division, or a single product or the brand. The next step in business portfolio analysis calls for the management to assess the attractiveness of its SBUs and make a decision how much support each deserves. To analyze this attractiveness of SBUs, companies use different methods. However, most standard portfolio analysis methods evaluate SBUs on two important dimensions. One is the attractiveness of the SBU's market or industry. Second one is that the strength of the SBU's position in the market or industry. See this chart, see this figure 2.2. It is called as the BCG, growth share matrix. Anybody knows what does BCG means? Yes, BCG refers Boston Consulting Group. So Boston Consulting Group, the consulting company, has developed this matrix. This matrix has two dimensions: the market growth rate, how attractive of this SBU's market or industry. This is so growing rapidly. This is slowly growing. So attractiveness of the market, it shows. If you look at the x-axis, it says relative market share. How strong your company is in the industry right now. So relative market share. So if you have a high market share, we can say you have a strong positioning in that category, in that industry. If you have low market share, you are not that strong in that industry. So combination of these two dimensions, you have four different cells. The first one is that star. Star is high growth market, and in this high growth market, you have high share products. So you call these SBUs as stars. You may intuitively understand what it means. The second types of SBU called as cash cow. Have you heard about that? Yes, we are using this terminology a lot. The cash cows are located into the low growth market, yet you generate a lot of money from these SBUs because you own high share market of this industry. Third type of SBUs called as question marks. So you are in high growth market, but you are not doing well. You are not sure whether you will be succeed or fail in the future. But at the moment, you are still doing poorly, so low market share. That's why you call this category as market share, question mark, sorry. Lastly, dogs. Yes, American English people also call this section as a dog. The dogs, low share product in the low growth market. So can you understand what it is? After the company has classified each SBU's goes into the each which cells, then the company can decide how much it will invest in its product or businesses. It must decide whether to build up, hold, harvest, or divest. The company can invest more in the business unit. In where? Where do you think that company will invest further if you are the manager? Yes, you may want to invest more on the star category and then probably question mark as well, right? Because it's rapidly growing market. It can invest just enough to hold SBU's share at the current level, especially for the cash cow category, or it can harvest SBUs, making a short-term cash flow regardless of the long-term effect, like dog category. Or it can divest the SBU by selling it out or phasing it out. So you don't invest further. You're just milking out. You're just getting the better profit as it is, or you sell it to the other company. If you are having a SBUs in the dog category.